Okay, here's the case, and the rack to hold the hard drives in is riveted in by these rivets. There's a 6 plus this one off to one side. I don't know if this is one of them or not. I'll take these 7 out first. I'm going to drill them out, and I'll show you what it looks like, the cage, before I do it. It also has a ground wire on it, interesting to say, to the motherboard, which is actually, the motherboard is the computer. Okay, this is the hard drive case. It's riveted in. You might be able to see those rivets right there. There's a rivet. Also, this wire that I'm holding in my hand is plugged into the motherboard right down here, where my finger is. That's where it's plugged in. And where it plugs into the where this grounding wire is plugged into the cage for the hard drive is right down here, where I'm taking it, and let's see how it works, or how it goes in, should I say. Okay, it goes in like this, and then you plug it in, and these have 2 little snaps on each side. You can snap it out of there, and you put the first snap in at the bottom, and again, I don't think I can do it with one hand. What's going in? And then you go over here on the other side after you get the bottom part in, and then you press. I guess I can do it from the opposite side. Now it's all plugged in. See? That's what it looks like when it's plugged in. Then you press on the top snap, and it will come out. You can just pull it out of there. I'm going to check and see whether or not once this cage is out of here, which will give me room, more airflow from this fan to the power supply. I'm not using this at all, never will. And I'm using the M.2 SSD solid state hard drive by Western Digital right here for my hard drive. It has all the information, operating system, everything's on there. So when I turn this over, the metal pieces that would go in and fall back that way will fall this way, and I'll take a vacuum cleaner and vacuum this area out. It should fall out on the garage floor. Okay, Kooler out. Okay, I white chalked the rivets that are going to be drilled out. There's 7 of them that hold the hard drive cage in. Now I'm going to begin. This is the drill I'll be using. Okay, I'm going to begin. Hammer up, and that you can see me doing any of this. Okay. We'll begin just to see if I can do this at all. There's one of them. There's 2 of them. There's 3 of them. There's 4. And there might be, this is holding up here, but I doubt it. Let's see what we got here. It's pretty tight on that side, and let's see what's holding. I'm going to turn this upside down like this and get some of the panel fibers out. Bring it back around. To the back of it. Oh, I see. Okay, the back screws for the back panel are just regular Phillips head screws. And they look like what I have in my hand now. What you want to put here, if you have the right size, or you can get the right size, is thumb screws. Which is kind of interesting that they don't have any in here. It's really a cheap case to begin with, but the motherboard and the components are pretty good. And we're going to get this out of here, this hard drive cage, because it's just taking up room. I don't use it. Okay, cooler out. Okay, the back side is off of the HP Omen HP 880 desktop. These wires need to be moved over to one side. We can pull these up out of here and get them out of the way. We don't want to drill and get nick them. Let's just set that there. Okay, this is metal, believe it or not, that folds back and forth, that holds this group of wires in. Okay, all these with white chalk on them need to be drilled out to get that hard drive cage out of there. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, the continuation of removing the hard drive cage. The back panel is off. I drilled out all the holes, all the rivets, all the rivets out of the back end of it. It's dropped down and it's ready to come out. That's holding it in there, but I want you to know that you need to, if you do this, vacuum up all the metal particles. You want to get them out of there. This is sideways, so it falls out on the garage floor. So just there's a piece there, but I vacuumed most of it up. But you want to get it up off the floor and out of the computer. I've already got this part here, but I'll do it again so you can see that this is what to do. Then you put all your wires back in place. And so you can see this cage is going to come right out of there. Here it is. And got a wire hooked to it there. Disconnect. Make sure it didn't pull any wires out of place that are hooked to the motherboard. This is it. And that's not the way things are supposed to be, by the way. Now you have a nice, good, clean space here. These are all plugged in. I've built enough computers myself to know how to do things. So now what we want to do is get inside here and vacuum it out. Now you have the fan can actually blow across it to the power supply. Along here. One of my thoughts, power supply. This is a 500 watt power supply. Let's just set that over there. Now I got a bunch of computers that were giving me laptops from a business, and I've been getting some of them to work, and the ones I don't want, I just recycle them. Is what you do with them when you're done with them. So okay, what I want you to realize is this is a grounding wire. Here is your optical drive. We're on the right side of the computer. The panel has been pulled, and I put the grounding wire that was on the cage, this hard drive cage here. It was attached right here, the grounding wire. So I just put it back over here. Not that I don't believe it needs it. I think it's for static. Okay, so also, let's move our tools over to one side. Okay, well here's your thumb screws for your back panel. Instead of these little screws, you need a screwdriver. let's put the Omen cover back on. The way you do that, so in this case it needs to be the top. There's a edge there, so let's drop that edge in first and take a look at the top. Okay, now we're even. Then you slide it ahead there with my fist, and then you put your thumb screws in there instead of the other type. And there's one, and there's two. That's good. Okay, Kooler out. Kooler back at ya. You might be wondering if the computer still works after taking the hard drive cage out of the computer. Everything's in place where it should be. So like I said, you might be wondering if the computer will still work. So let's turn it on. See lights. Oh. Oh, there it is. Starting up. Shut her up. I want to tell you something. This computer is very fast compared to my other computers. Okay, yeah, it still works. It's nice and clean. And if you want to take your hard drive cage out, that's the way to do it. Just be careful. I've been doing it for years. You can put them back in, the cage back in, if you want to, with or without some screws this time. I'd put the screws in from the bottom if I was you, and that'll work fine. Okay, this is Kooler. Keep your computers running and do it just the way you see me doing it. Take care, guys. Kooler out. Bye.